Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at the version 3.3 special program. In this update, they're going to showcase they're going to add Scaramouche and I believe the new 4-star Anemo character as well. I don't know how to say her name, Faruzan, are going to be added. And we're going to take a look at his abilities and see if he's going to be an interesting character or not. I have not seen this video prior to recording this. And to be honest with you, before we start, I kind of wasn't excited for this guy. I'm not a big fan of his character, personality-wise, and in the story. I enjoyed beating him up in the story. I'll let you know that. But we'll see. Let's take a look.
Let's talk about that. I'm sure many of our viewers are curious about his talents.
Heck yeah, sure thing. Let's have a look at the Wanderer in combat.
In combat.
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence.
Oh my god, so edgy.
Bow your head.
So he does look like a main DPS.
All right,
what
Patrick,
the heck?
You're up. Help introduce the Wanderer for us.
Sure thing. The Wanderer is a catalyst user and has an Anemo vision, so he uses wind.
Did y'all find it weird that he has a wind vision as well? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be explained in the story why he has that on top of the electro stuff. The Anemo as well?
Blades to perform ranged normal attacks.
Wait a second, wind blades?
Not the same as the Traveler's Windblade, though.
Okay.
So, as everyone probably already noticed, the Wanderer can hover in the air when he casts his elemental skill. Upon using his elemental skill, he will first deal AoE damage before leaping into the air and entering a hovering state. So, while hovering, the Wanderer's normal and charge attacks will be converted into Kugo Fushudan and Kugu Tofukai, respectively.
What does that mean?
Damage they deal and their AoE will be increased. Their damage will be considered normal and charge attack damage.
That is a very interesting thing to note there, which means a lot of your normal and charge attack buffs will work on this guy. So, for example, Yunjin with her burst will increase his normal attack damage. And if you guys have her at C6, she also has an attack speed buff as well.
Respectively. Also, Kugu Tofukai will not consume stamina, and he can remain hovering for a certain duration.
That's so awesome!
What he said, the fact that he can just continue to hover, by the way, is going to help him avoid so many ground attacks and just, well, literally anything melee, good luck. As long as you stay, in the air and far away. Well, not far away, but you don't have to be that close to them. You'll be safe. Ranged damage stuff, though, it's still going to get you.
He can fly! I know, right? But he can't stay hovering forever. While hovering, the Wanderer constantly consumes Kuguryoku points to maintain his hovering state, which is the blue meter you see on the screen.
I was about to say, yeah.
Even if he doesn't move or attack, hovering will still consume Kuguryoku points.
Okay.
So this mechanic works a little differently than our typical stamina meter. There are many possible actions the Wanderer can perform while hovering in the air, which all rely on Kuguryoku points rather than stamina. So, for example, sprinting mid-air will consume additional Kuguryoku points to accelerate mid-air, and holding the sprint button will cause persistent point consumption to maintain speed. So, this effect will replace his default sprint. Jumping expends extra Kuguryoku points to increase hovering height. Holding jump will cause persistent Kuguryoku point consumption to keep increasing hovering height. Of course,
do you need to increase your jumping height? That's cool and all that you can go higher, but do you need to? I guess if you want to, depending on how much air or, distance you jump, I can't think of the word, but depending on how much you jump, I guess you might need to adjust and go higher to match an enemy, but his attacks are ranged, they're ranged wind blades, so I don't see that being something you need to do.
Running out of points will end his hovering state.
Oh, Okay, so travelers will need to plan their actions while hovering.
Exactly. So, with his talent, Jade Claim Flower, when casting his elemental skill, if it contacts Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, that instance of the skill.
No Dendro? Hey! No Dendro though? Did I read that correctly? Hydro Pyro. Oh, because he's Anemo. Ah! No, that's so unfortunate. And no Geo either. Oh, man. That's so unfortunate. See, even though Dendro and Anemo don't have an elemental reaction, you could still try to give them some sort of synergy, and you could have done it with this talent so you could use him with Nahida or Kali or Traveler Dendro. That is disappointing.
Attacks Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, that instance of the skill will receive a corresponding buff effect depending on which element was contacted. So, for example, increasing his Kuguryoku points cap, attack, crit rate, or restoring a set amount of energy upon hitting opponents with a normal or charged attack.
Wow, that sounds really good.
Have up to 2 different kinds of these buffs simultaneously.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess that Electro is the one that restores your energy with normal and charge attacks. That sounds really, really good. And that means you won't have to build them so much for energy recharge. Obviously, you'll need some, but you won't need that much. I'm gonna guess Cryo is crit rate. I mean, it's pretty you can pretty much guess what element is gonna give what buff. And that's kind of cool. It's kind of like Nahida's burst, where her burst is also affected differently depending on what elements are in the team. So it gives him some team sort of like variations you can try out, which is always cool. I'm just really sad that Dendro is not included.
Oh, look, check that out. Part of the halo behind him changes color depending on the buffs you get. So travelers will be able to easily understand what effects the Wanderer currently has.
I like that. It's helpful and still looks really cool.
Yeah.
So, after unlocking another talent, Gales of Reverie, when the Wanderer is in the hovering state, if his normal or charged attack hits an enemy, there is a set chance to gain another buff effect, allowing him to sprint midair without consuming Kuguryoku points.
What? A chant? Hold on. Also, the sprint midair without losing the point is really nice. He has a set chance to gain another buff effect. Wait, is this the other buff effect? Is that the buff, or are they talking about a different buff from the elemental things? I'm guessing it's this. I think I just got that mixed up. Sorry.
Midair without consuming Kuguryoku points. Additionally, this buff effect will fire wind arrows to attack the enemy.
Ooh.
Oh, dope. I'm sure extra buff effects like that will go a long way for players when they're in combat.
Yeah, for sure. And if you've noticed, there is a colorful aura of light around his body to indicate when that buff effect is triggered.
I saw that.
That's pretty cool.
That's good.
I love all the detail they've put into the Wanderer.
All right, this brings us to the Wanderer's elemental burst.
Sweet.
Yay!
So, check this out. Upon unleashing his burst, he
First of all, that animation, though. That animation, it looks like he's stomping on you.
compresses the atmosphere and stomps it down toward the enemy. So, travelers should note that if the Wanderer is in a hovering state when he unleashes his burst, then the hovering state will end and he will begin descending after the burst is completed.
Okay, this stomping animation is a little aggressive.
Yeah, but it's cool.
I know, and it actually suits his character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't help but agree.
Wait. Let's not forget about the exploration.
All right. Without, obviously we don't see the skill multipliers or anything like that, so we don't know how much damage his burst is doing, and if it has any other effects to it. They just kind of showed that it ends the hovering state if he's in the air, which is a little unfortunate, but it makes sense. He does seem like a cool character. His abilities seem cool. The hovering, again, his attack animations are unique. Excuse me, even though I believe he's a catalyst user, right? But he has like these wind blade attacks, so at least that's, you know, something different. And then the hovering thing. I'm very disappointed that he doesn't, again, have any sort of synergy with Dendro. Like, I know Anemo doesn't with elemental reactions, but this could have been a way to make something happen between those two elements, which is a little bit disappointing there. I need to see more info on his burst other than it's an AoE explosion. Like, okay. Like, does it I need to see the damage multipliers. Excuse me, let's see that exploration talent.
Exploration talent?
Ah, yes. This is an interesting one. The Wanderer can
Hey! Whoa! What is that? Is that his weapon? It's only level 40, but it gives crit damage as a substat, which is already good. Increases his normal attack speed by 10%. After the wielder unleashes his elemental skill, normal attack damage will increase 4.8% every second. For 14 seconds after hitting an opponent with a normal attack, this duration normal attack damage will increase by 9.6%. This increase can be triggered every 0.3 seconds. The maximum normal attack damage increase per single duration of the overall effect is 48%, and then I can't read the rest, something about it being removed. A really interesting catalyst weapon. That'll also probably be good for Heizo. Well, maybe not Heizo, because you just use his elemental skill. I'm trying to think of... This is like future content stuff, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead, continue.
decrease the mora required when ascending bows and catalysts.
Hey now, you can never complain about saving Mora, am I right?
Okay,
Huh?
that's true. All right, now that we've seen the Wanderer, let's move on to the next new character.
Alright, this video is already getting pretty long, and I don't want to make another 20-minute video of reaction stuff. So we'll save the 4-star character for tomorrow, or, you know, another day. Most likely tomorrow though, since these videos are easier to make. But yeah, initial thoughts on Scaramouche here is that he does seem like a very interesting and fun character to play as, very unique. I'm just disappointed with the lack of Dendro interaction with him, with one of his buff talent, but maybe you can still sort of work something out. Maybe we don't know exactly his entire kit yet. Personally, I'm just gonna pass on this character, not because I don't like him, okay? Well, that might have some part to do with it, but I am actually just out of primo gems. Again, I've just spent everything I had on Nikita and her weapon, and I'm just in saving mode. Like, I would need really, really insane luck to just get this guy off. It would have to be off pity, because I'm nowhere near close my 50-50. We'll try him out. When he comes out in 3.3 for sure. I'll make a video in his character trial, of course. That being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.